everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about model validation in ASP.NET Web API using MVC. Before we are going to start, I would like to ask you a favor. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe my channel. Let's start. In this video, we learn that how to validate Web API using model validation or data validation on the client side. We can perform model validation in MVC in an easy way. In API, when sending the request by the client or user to Web API, then before doing the next process, it checks the empty validation error data annotation in Web API. First of all, I have created one database, that is a register DB, and the database I have created one table, that is a dbo.users. In the dbo.users, I have created that 4 column, that is user ID, username, email, and password. User ID is the identity column. Let's open the Visual Studio. In that Visual Studio, I'm going to add first of all that is the empty project. That is empty project. So here I'm going to write Web API MVC. Click on OK. So here you can see that there is an empty project has been created. In the empty project, I will add two projects. One is the Web API, another one is the MVC. Create a new project. First of all, select the Web ASP.NET MVC application. This one will be the Web API. Click on OK. Select empty and Web API. Click on OK. So that Web API project will be added here. Now you can see here that Web API projects will be added here. Now I'm going to add that MVC project. Right click on that empty project, add new project, select on Web ASP.NET Web application. Here that I'm going to write like a Web MVC. Click on OK. Select empty project, MVC, click on OK. Now here you can see that Web MVC project has been created. First of all, now we have to add that one course. So first right click on the manage NuGet package, and here we will install that course. That is course. Then select that ASP.NET or Microsoft ASP.NET Web API course. So just install that one. So course full form is like a cross origin resource sharing. So why we are going to use that course? When the request comes from that same domain, it works perfectly. When the request comes from the other domain, it throws an error. It means the browser has a property called access control allow origin, which restrict the request from the different domains for security purpose. So we need to enable course to accomplish the request. So that's why we are installing that course, because that your Web API and your MVC both will run in a different domain, means like a different IP address or port. Now you can see that your Web API, that course has successfully installed. Okay, that close. Now first of all, I need to add that one model. That is going to create that. Right click on the models, select the class, and here I'm going to write like a user register model, user register and model. So here need to add some field, that is your properties. First one is that username, second one is your email, third one is that password, and fourth one is your confirm password. So now going to add the data annotation. So to write like a using to call that using system dot component model dot data annotations. So first of all, that all should will be the required field. So going to create the required and that error message. That error message. So user name is required. Same like for your email. Then for password and then for confirm password. So only need to change that one, email password and your confirm password. So email, for that email also we're going to write like email address and here error message, enter valid email address. Okay, and another one is that password is that here, that for confirm password I'm going to write like a compare, that properties which field need to create compare, that is a password. If it not match, then error message, password and confirm password should be same. Okay, that part is done. Your model has been created. Now going to add one controller, that will be the API controller. First of all, I'm going to change something in that URL, because it's automatically in the web API. There's one more good functionality is that automatically it will check once you are going to use that prefix, your action name prefix will be get, so it will automatically will be considered as a HTTP get. If prefix will be the post, then automatically it will be take as a HTTP post. But I'm going to work like a controller with action method. So I'm going to write like a controller and action. This one. Okay, just close. So now right click on the controller, add controller. So this one will be the VAPI2 control, that is empty controller, and here I'm going to write like a register, that will be the register controller. Okay, so in this one I'm going to write public HTTP response message and add user, or you can add register. So in that register, that the controller action at the model name will be the user model, just add, and it will be the object register model. Okay, now request dot, first it will be that it will be the request create response. So in that create response, just I am going to add by default this one I'm doing, because first it will check that if your model state dot is valid. If it's a valid, means like model state dot is valid means your this particular, this all those property will be valid, then it will become here. Okay, so this one I'm going to add here, this one will be add here. If else, it will be return request dot create error response. So in that error response, that HTTP host will be the bad request, and your model state. This one need to return, because if model is will be valid, that your properties, that all those field, that data component annotation, that all those properties that required, and that you can say that password will be matched with the confirmed password and email address will be the valid, then it will become here. So here I will try to add. So first of all, need to add that entity framework. So right click on a model, add new item, that is select the data, ADU.NET entity model. So here I'm going to write like a register DB, click on add. Then next, here write the server name as the user ID and password, select the database, that is your register DB, click on OK. Yes, next, this one will be the register DB entities, click on next, select the table here, that is your, this one is the user table, click on finish. Now you can see here that ADMS file has been created with that your table, that is your user table. Now I'm going to create that one constructor. So in that constructor I'm going to create the variable of a register DB entities, that is obj register DB entities. Okay, now create that object of a register DB entities. So here this one, if it's a valid, means like so that this one is your entities user. So create the object user equal to new user. First of all, here I will check if dot any your user dot any, that your if email username, if your username will be exist, that username will be exist, so it will return request dot create error response. So here I am going to write like http status code, that is a not found. That is your not found. Something you can write like, and another one will be your email or username already exist. That is done. Now if it's not exist, then we'll try to add. So that object user dot your username equal to set user model dot your username. Second one is that your email address, that email address equal to your set dot email address. Then third one is your password, equal to your model dot password. Now call this one dot your users dot add. So it will be that your object user will be add. Now it will be the save changes, called save changes. Now it's everything will be okay. Then it will be the request dot create response. The HTTP status code will be the okay. Okay, then it will be user successfully registered. Now API work has been done. Now first one more thing is required, because we have installed that course, so we need to register that, we have to enable that your course. So go to that wp.config, here to write where course equal to new enable course attribute. Enable course attribute. First parameter we will say that origin in that sense, if you want like particular URL, a particular means that particular API will be valid for particular domain. So we can write like just like I want www or http dot something abc.com. If you want to valid for this particular origin or domain, so we can write like that. But I have this one for I'm going to for everyone, valid for everyone. So make a star. Second one is the add header, and third one is that like if you want to valid for that post get, only for post or only for get, so we can write like here post or get. But for now I am enabling for every method. So now we need to enable config dot enable course. So write that course. Now it's done. Your course has been registered also. This one you have registered. Now close all. Now open that MVC. So this one API has been done. So now we'll work on a MVC part. So right click on a controller, add one controller. That's I'm going to write that controller name. This one I'm going to add home controller. So in that home controller I'm going to add one view. Here I'm going to use that jQuery. So click on add. So now you can see that jQuery has been added. That is sorry, your index.chhtml file has been added. So now here I'm going to create one table. That table for that here that is style, that your width will be that your 100%. 100%. In the table, first one will be the your tr, then td. Okay, in the td I'm going to add first one will be the your username. So I'm going to write like a username, and then second td I'm going to add it will be the input type. Input type is called text. ID will be the your txt username, right? And another one is the name. It isn't value. Here I'm going to write like a username, then value be blank. Same like for this one for username. Now going to add for email. This one for email. So I'm going to write like a txt email. Okay, so this one also email. Another one, this for password, txt password, type will be the password, and this one will be your password. Then last one will be your confirm password. So write confirm password. So it will be the txt confirm password. This one will be the confirm password, or this one password. Okay, now it's done. Now going to add button. So button we will add into another td. So this td will leave, then another td I'm going to add. In the another td I'm going to add the one table. In the table there will be the tr, then two td, one for register, another for reset. One for register, one for reset. So here I'm going to write like input type will be the button, then class button primary, button register, or value will be register. Same one I have to copy for button reset, so value will be reset, and that class, this one will be the dancer. Okay, now open the solution explorer, just make a sequence, go to the properties. In the properties we have to make this web API should be first start, click and apply and OK. So now if I will run, then both projects will be run, one API and then another one will be that your MVC. Now run the application, click on the start. Now here you can see that there two project is running. One is that your, this one is a web API. You can see that it's this one is running 2867, that port number is 2867. Another one is running with 28 and 76. That's why we have installed that course, because both one is running in a different port, means like you can say that in different domain. So here I have added that username, email and password and confirm password. Then two button with register and reset, and this one is the text box. Okay, now going to add that some code for here, that everything's done. Now same thing I'm going to add this one more. For there you can see that error which we want to display. Just click on TR. This one is the TDs, leave it that T1, just delete this one. In that particular table I'm going to write like a name, that name, that's like a table error message. What's the error message? Which one? Once I'm going to click it, that web API will throw that exception that we are going to add in this particular table. Now jQuery work, just delete this one, it's not required. Make a break, okay. Now so go to the solution, open that your script and drag that your one script file, that mean.js. Now you are going to write like a script, type is equal to your JavaScript. Here write that JavaScript. Now $document.ready, what's the name of the button? Here this one is the button.register. So this one is the ID selector, has ID dot click. Then going to write like a function, and the function register user. Okay, this one is register user. Now going to create the one data. In the data, that will be the first one with the username. So that particular, that username, this one, so it should be matched with your web API dot model. Just open that model, this one user registered model. So see, it should be same, that username here, so that particular username should be here. Then write like a txt and txt, that is a username. This one will be the value dot val, that comma. The second one is that your email, so just pass this one email. So dollar, that adds again ID selector, so txt your email dot value. Then third one is that your password. Now here I have added that username, that is a txt username, then your email, txt email dot value, and password, txt password, and confirm password. Okay, that txt confirm password. You can see that this one is a confirm password. Okay, that's part has a. Now for need to call that ajax $.ajax. $.ajax. So that one first one will be the async. This one will be the true. The next one will be the your data type. First, now I'm going to add type. This one is the post. Then data type. It will be the JSON. Then content type, so that will be the application / JSON char set equal to UTF. That's it, right? Then data, so JSON dot string if y, so that is string if y is that your data that need to pass. Then your URL. Okay, so what will the URL that your web API open, that this is that URL, copy this, first paste it here, that URL, then your controller name and action method. So go to that, open that your controller in web API register controller, so copy the register controller, this one is the register controller, paste it here. Then one more, that is your action method, that is add register, so paste it here in that index. Here, done. Now it will be the success. The success we will to write like function that d, that for data, and another one for error, so that also it will be error. Okay, till now it's okay, that is done. Once, so that is now to display that message. This one also, if you want, you can add that one, class text denser, so that particular table is, because in this table we need to add, so the dollar add is selector dot append. So here it will be append. First one, create the variable where message dollar, oh sorry, so it will be the first one will be the tr, then td, one td is required, plus your d, that message, plus td will be close, then your tr will be close. So this success message have to add here. This one should colors would be green, that CSS part we will do later. Now for error. So what's the error actually is that your, if it's that empty field or some error will return, or like a bad gateway, that another, except that 200, because 200 is your success, and except that other status code, it will come into that error. So let's start, write like a where validation error equal to dollar dot parse JSON. Your parse JSON will be the error dot response text. response text. Okay, now $.each function, your validation error, click this one. First of all, we will check that if error dot status equal to 400. 400 is your bad gateway, so that times $dot each function will be your validation error dot your model state, then your function, first one will be the I, then message. Okay, this one is the message. Now same things we have to add, like this one will be the your error message. So here it will become your message. So this one need to add into your table. So it will come here, type and message, and except that if it's not 400, then it will be add xim to add into this one, will be the actually it's a this one it's your model state error, and this one for just like if it's already exist, that message will come here. So your validation error here need to write append like this. First of all, we need to remove that. If it's added already, need to report that your row, find your tr dot remove. This particular is added here. Now everything is okay. Yeah, that everything has been done. First of all, async true, that type post, data type is called JSON, that content type, and this one is your URL, that but full path, that your web API path, that is your localhost 2867 register, that add register, that register is your controller, and add register your Excel method. Then if it's a success, then I'm adding to that and one variable, that my particular message, that is what actually trying to return into a register controller. This one user successfully registered, that one. And if it's something, if I did enter, then it will be written this particular message. If I will, that particular text box will be the empty, then it will return here that all things. Okay, now refresh, reload that. Okay, once I'm going to click on register, let's see that everything is here coming. Enter validates, enter email is required, password is required, and confirm password is required. Let's see, I'm going to add that username. It's like A. Okay, click on register. Now you can see that it's asking that email address is required, password is required, confirm password is required. Now I'm going to write something like this. No, okay. So once I'm going to click on register, it will say that enter the valid email address. So what all this data annotation will return the address, it's showing that here. So now I'm going to write like a valid email address, b@gmail.com. Now if I will enter that password, is two different. Click on register. Let's see, password and confirm password should be same. Okay, now I'm going to add that two password. First of all, before going to click on a register, let's see that, check the data, just refresh, execute this one, that this data has been empty. The table has been empty. Now click on register. Just once you click on register, let's see, you are getting that message, user successfully registered. So don't think that because I am using the text danger, so that because of that it's coming that one, that particular red. Okay, so let's see in that, check in the table, just execute again, and you can see that user name, email, and password. That two things is here. Now again, I will try to insert same record. So if we look here in that register controller, if it's a exist, that if it's exist that particular username, then this username already exists. That error message should be displayed. So just open the Visual Studio. Let's click on register. Oh, this one is okay. Something need to change here. Open the index.cshtml here. This one need to write here message. That error message here. That is the message. Just save it. Reload again. Now we are going to add the same data, because I am checking with the username, that this one. Now click on register. See, now you are getting the error message, username already exists. Now if I will try to add that b and b@gmail.com, click on register. Let's see, user successfully registered. Check in the database here. Now is registered, successfully registered. Now click on again the register. Now you see username is already exist. Now you're getting that error message. I hope it's clear. Thanks for watching.